speaker is Dr. Michelle Alignay. Dr. Alignay is a psychologist, speaker, and an award-winning author. Her expertise focuses on parenting, family life and relationships, personal growth, and well-being. She holds professional licenses, medyo marami to, no? uh, as a registered psychologist, a guidance counselor, a licensed professional teacher, and a registered psychometrician. Dr. Alignay obtained her PhD in Family Studies and MA in Family Psychology and Education from Miriam College. She has more than 2 decades of experience working with families and children. Currently, Dr. Alignay takes on various roles aligned with her core gifts. She serves as a part-time faculty at the Department of Psychology and the Family Studies graduate program in Miriam College. She has published solo titles. Um, the title of the books are The Beauty of 40, Unwrapping the Gift of Midlife, that was published in 2019, and Family Goals, Embracing the Imperfections of Family Life, which was published in 2016 and was awarded the Best Book in Family Life in 2017 by the Cardinal Sin Catholic Book Awards. And You Can Care for You, The Soul and Science of Self-Care, that was recently published in 2022. In 2013, she was a co-author of the breakthrough book Growing Up Wired, Raising Pinoy Kids in the Digital Age, which was published by Anvil Publishing. So, without further ado, let us welcome our second afternoon speaker, Dr. Michelle Alignay. Hi, Doc Michelle. Welcome po.
Hi, Doc.
Good afternoon, Jonix. Good afternoon, Pat. Good afternoon to everyone here. I'm much delighted to be your speaker for this session. Wait, I think I have a problem with my other gadget. Sorry for this. Okay. I just need to remove the audio. Okay. So, good afternoon again. So, I want to ask you the topic that we're going to have this afternoon, it's about accomplishments. So before while I'm setting up my slide, I would like to shoot the question that what comes to your mind or how do you define personally or what is accomplishment for you? There. Can we maximize the chat and put your answer on what is accomplishment? I will wait for your answer. I just need to look for. There you go. Okay, now I can read your answers. Okay, let's check the accomplishments. Meaningful finishing goals, reaching your target goal, it brings meaning, milestones, reaching finishing everything. Wow, this is very realistic. Doing what is expected, something meaningful to an individual, success. Okay. Accomplishment can be a lot of things for many of us. Hindi ba? Iba-iba rin yan depending. I like what was Dr. Maida was sharing earlier regarding yung how do we actually learn, how do she gave this slide on how do we understand things earlier, and this is actually good because it will give us a sense na ay oo nga no, iba kaya madalas we have different POV, you know that word, right? POV, it's very young one. What is accomplishment for you? Maybe how you actually transpose it to your students. You know what I mean here? So if your accomplishment is only based on numerical figures, like the grades itself, I remember before, madalas sabihin na, oh, sino yung top one, lalaki ba o babae? May ganyan pang gender issue. I don't know if you've heard that. Yung mga older generation, lagi may gender issue. Pero accomplishment o pang ilan? Lagi nilang tanong, oh, may honor ba? Pang ilan? So these things can be how they were groomed. So how do you live accomplishment is how you transpose it to your students. So in general, accomplishment, it's actually like what you're saying, overcoming challenges, fulfilling a goal. It's actually synonymous with achievement, mastery, and competence. So if you see, it's actually accomplishment, not achievement that we're talking about. So accomplishment as let's define it. We'll define it from how Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, defines it. He said that it's a sense of accomplishment, is a result, take note, a result of working towards enriching goals, mastering an endeavor, and having self motivation to finish what you set out to do. This contributes to well being because individuals can look at their lives with a sense of pride. Let's put this down right at this moment. How are you as this new year ends? Can you just rate yourself? Am I able to accomplish what I have set to do early on this year? When January 2024 started, what are my accomplish? What is that I aim to do? Now, what is it I was able to do? Because that can actually contribute to feeling of well-being. It can actually pin you down if you did not complete what's in your to-do list or what's in your goal list or resolution list. Personally, I was looking at my I have this planner of what I want to do. But last year, I really put everything down. Like, I don't want to put so much pressure on anything. There are just so many things happening to me. And personally, sabi ko, ayokong i-pressure ang sarili ko with anything. I'll do what, I'll try to finish what I hope to do. So instead of just putting the resolution, I just put the little ideals or the three goals that I want to have. So looking at it, more than 60% of the how my 60 to 70% of how my 2024 would look should look like for me. Well, technically, it happens now. Looking back, because I want to scan it as I prepare for my talk. So accomplishment can either be good or bad. Because we want to do more, we want to be more, but there are some things that are beyond our control. But accomplishment that brings success requires this. It requires deferred gratification, self-efficacy, tenacity that empower determination, motivation despite adversity. These are all powerful words. Deferred gratification, alam natin to. So you're not gonna eat this yet because you want to sacrifice. You're not gonna buy something that you've been really longing for because it's not the time yet. Di ba? It's not the time yet. You're delaying gratification. Ayoko munang puntahan yan lugar na yan. I will reserve it for something else. So self-efficacy is self-efficiency. We're able to be very self-aware and we're able to do things well. Another is tenacity that empower determination. You know, tenacity. Some people, they're determined, pero they're not tenacious. Wala silang, another word that I connote with this is grit. Yung bang willingness na parang, they will just let things settle down. They will just reflect about things, but it's not good enough to fuel. There was a saying that goes like, a dream, a dream without a plan is a wish. So wish lang yan. Hindi kasi wala kang ginagawa. You don't have that tenacity, that push. You don't have the fuel. And another thing that can bring success to accomplishment is motivation despite adversity. For me, this is the most powerful. Kahit na hirap, kaya mo ba? You know, one of the favorite things that students would always ask me. By the way, I teach in Miriam College. I teach in the graduate school. And the favorite line that students would tell me, Doc, ano po yung okay na topic sa dissertation? Yan. Or ano pong okay na topic sa thesis? So have you also asked that same question, friends? to my colleagues here, tinatanong niyo rin ba yan? What's the good topic? I don't binabalik ko yung tanong na yan. Kasi sa akin, this is one of the biggest measure of our accomplishment is actually the tangible manifestation of that is how do we do in our graduate study, and how are we really pushing ourselves so hard. Ask anyone who has finished their dissertation, and this is my description. Your topic is something that you would really like and you're passionate about to get to know more, go deeper, and you really soak yourself. That's my term. You soak yourself, you immerse yourself in that topic, that even to the point, I have to use this word, excuse me, even if to the point that you want to give up, even to the point na nasusuka ka na dun sa topic na yon, and even to the point that nothing makes sense, it still makes sense to you, and you want to keep finding out what's the end result of this, not just for the degree, but because of that study. That is motivation despite adversity, because who says graduate school is easy? No one. And we signed up for that. Many of you signed up for that. Who among you can relate? Can you just chat there? So maghahanap pa ba kayo ng topic? Pag maghahanap kayo ng topic, yan yung tandaan nyo. And for me, that is one of the biggest measure of accomplishment. So, in an article by Patty O'Grady, accomplishment, she said that it's the pursuit of practice. Take note, practice of academic, social, and emotional intentions and excellence at home, work, school, and play. Take note, including play, meeting personal goals and deriving satisfaction in the process. So it's just not about academic, it's not about social, and it's also about emotional intention and excellence. In many aspects, for me, I also include there a satisfaction in one area of our life. I think the description that was used with me was the older version of my profile. But right now, I handle a ministry. It's a Catholic ministry called Light of Jesus Pastoral Care Center. We do psychospiritual sessions using pastoral care to anyone in crisis. So we are not a hotline, but we are a hot chat. So we're available online. It's run by, I'm the director, and it's funded by the Feast or the Light of Jesus community, otherwise, we're founded by Brother Bo Sanchez. So, ang tanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit ko pinasok to? Bakit ko pinasok yan? There are many things that I can do with my time. There are just so many things that is needing my attention. There are things that I can earn better outside the ministry. But that's why it's not just a personal accomplishment, but it's actually something that has a social, emotional, even for me, it has a spiritual component. And it's deriving that fulfillment in the process. So meron tayong ganyan sa buhay, yung parang tinatanong natin sa sarili natin, why do we find this sense of accomplishment with this engagement, even though it's not about the money, it's not about the position. So here, let's redefine accomplishment and differentiate it from achievement. So magkaiba ba? Usually it's used interchangeably, but let's look here. Accomplishment and achievement can be two different things used interchangeably. And for me, I think that's why in the PERMA model of positive psychology, Seligman used accomplishment better than achievement. Accomplishment is qualitative result, internally motivated, hindi dahil na meron kang increase lang, hindi dahil that meron like the little kids that you're gonna have a tantrum, and then your mom will say, I'll buy a toy for you, and we're gonna eat a Jollibee. No, it's not that even though that you're not going to eat what you like, even though if the conditions are not right, you're still internally motivated because you want to accomplish something. And it's also an educational process. But what about achievement? Achievement, we measure quantitative results. Like for example, achievement test. And also in the classroom, we rank there. O sino dyan yung naka flat one? Sino dyan yung running for honor? Sino dyan yung... So we measure that. And sometimes we fail to measure the character and determination of the students if it's just going to be quantitative. But uh but looking at things, we also need to check the externally imposed standard. Ayan, letter grade, kailangan makauno ako, 'di ba? Kaya minsan, whenever we would grade, teachers, I know yung maganda rin tanungin natin sa sarili natin yung grade. Okay, the grade of the students, by output, it's a fitting, for example, 1 or 5, whichever is highest for you. But in terms of determination and character, some of them, I have to use this word, they're just in the classroom. It's just that they know, but they're not very engaged. They don't show that level of motivation. So gusto ko ba na mataas ba talaga yung grade niya? Yan. So dun papasok siya. And also, achievement is instructional product, while accomplishment, it's a process. It's a process. So that's the big difference. And let's look here. Accomplishment and academic achievement. I'll just browse through this with you. Children and adolescents can achieve more academically through these traits. So if we're going to talk about accomplishment and achievement, before I do that, I want to ask you, most of us are teaching higher education. Tama? Most of you here are teaching higher education? Yes? Can you just give me a thumbs up if yes? Or tulog na ba kayo? Sabi ko nga kay Miss Pat, grabe yung schedule ko pang hapon. Sana gising pa sila. Yes, most of us are into higher education. So, we're dealing with adolescents. Hinahanap nila ang sarili the same way that we're looking for ourselves and our purpose. Right? So these are the traits that are included. They truly know their emotions. They can identify their strengths. So at least they have a certain level of self-awareness. They can build grit. They can connect with others. This one, it is very critical. This is very critical for adolescents who's supposed to be social being, who's supposed to be finding their tribes, who's supposed to be looking for the place of the words. If these students will always be in isolation and would not be engaging with others, there's a question mark there, because developmentally they're supposed to be connecting, and it's also part of accomplishment. And find meaning no matter the task. And then I like the talk by Dr. Maita earlier, meaning making in curriculum, and that's so true. Finding meaning no matter the task. I finished one semester of teaching in another college. I teach part-time in Miriam, but I was invited to teach in a seminary. I teach family systems, as my PhD is family studies, because I teach family systems theories. And then I really like what was feedback to me, that I made the theories come to life with what I taught, because the students are actually preachers of our community, and there's another priest and ministry formators of other schools. They said that now they understand the theory, but they see the practice of the theory, because that's very critical. That is very critical. This generation would always want to find meaning. What is it for? Anong kinalaman yan sa akin? Saan ko yan magagamit? Tayo hanggang tanong lang sila, they will really articulate it. And we need to accomplishment. Part of it is becoming accomplished classroom citizens. They will achieve more. So here, where do we stand? How are we encouraging these things in the classroom? Do we encourage them to be emotionally aware? Do we help them identify their strengths? For example, when I was teaching in the graduate school, I get to know, especially during the face-to-face learning, I get to know some students deeper, lalo na kung one sem yan. And then I noticed, I really told one students, yung play mo with words, yung play mo with words and how you're becoming very analytical, you will be good for assessment. Sinabi ko sa kanya yan. And then another one of them, a graduate school student, she's just quiet and then she's not the same with words with the other student. But when she engaged, I saw her engaged with children. I saw her, one time she was talking to my daughter who was little then. Parang nagbabago siyang anyo, nagbabago siyang tao. And I really need to affirm her. Sabi ko sa kanya, I think your giftedness is actually in immersing yourself in therapy with children or teens, which is actually what she likes. So, it's if we have a teacher, and that is us, who can help us be more emotionally aware, can help us identify our strengths, and can help us build grit, it's going to make a very big impact in our lives. I had that kind of teacher before. He noted my strengths. He was able to tell me in high school pa lang that, you know, you're very good at people. This is something that you do well. If you're interested in psychology, pursue it. He did. He did. He's now teaching in UP, in the College of Education. And whenever I would speak for big forums, he would always say, I'm so proud of you. But I don't want to be just about me. The challenge is for us. Do you note the good side and the strength of your students? Do you know how to encourage them to build their grit despite of difficult circumstances? Do you help them find the deeper meaning behind their task? These are very important areas. And this is a quote that I like. Achievement is a byproduct of accomplishment. Accomplishment can be personal. What may be an accomplishment for you may not be for you. What sadly, tama ba? The world measures us by our accomplishment, by our achievement. For example, for us faculty, you will only be ranked if you have achieved a certain publication. You will only be credited this and this points for your ranking if you have, given talks like this, if you have, you have done so and so, and and if you have been awarded something, and those are actually all connected to achievement. And the world is measuring achievement, but I'm encouraging you as persons, as professional, learn to measure accomplishment. Because achievement can be out there, but accomplishment can be your personal take, can fuel your passion, can fuel your well-being. Am I making sense? Are you still here, friends? Dahil dyan, I want you to check yourself. Let's just for the next Miss Pat, hanggang anong oras ba tayo dito? Mga 8 p.m., no? Gawin natin tong retreat of accomplishment nila. So, just for 5 minutes, I want you to get a paper and pen, and I want for you to reflect, what are my personal accomplishments as far as you can remember. So if you're gonna make a timeline, I like doing this. So, I keep a planner. I'm still the classic. I keep a planner. This is my 2024 planner. Can you see it? This is my 2024 planner. Nakahanda na rin yung 2025 planner ko. And part of being able to scan through what happened in my year is looking at the busy life that I had. So, when I was looking at my 2024, ang sabi ko nga sa inyo, binabaan ko yung set standards and expectations ko sa sarili ko. Because I'm coming from a place of exhaustion when I started the year. And kaya binabaan ko, ito yung reality ko, pero ito yung level of exhaustion ko, ito yung well-being ko, tas ang taas ng sinet ko sa sarili ko. I am just actually doing something to break me. So I will not do that. So here, what I did is that I planned my highlights for 2024. I mapped my highlights for 2024. So, oh, there it goes. So I was able to be accredited and get a workshop with a big BPO company. I was able to give a class during the PGCA convention. And I was able to hold a personal workshop for myself. Last August, I do a private workshop. And then I was able to teach in Don Bosco School of Theology. And ministry wise, there are some accomplishment, and we're able to mount an inside out block screening. I was able to go through three different areas for mission trip, one locally and two abroad. And then I gave a big talk as plenary speaker in our women's conference. So those for me are actually my ministry accomplishments. And for me, of course, trips and travels can be accomplishment. But here, my little accomplishment that I need to go back to driving. My 18-year-old son is driving also. And then my 15-year-old daughter is blooming into a young lady. Is that accomplishment for you? And another accomplishment is the even though that things are hard, hormones are changing, I'm still able to do at least 10 minutes of movement or yoga a day. Accomplishment sa akin yun kasi minsan mahirap. So if I were to ask you, what is accomplishment for you, friends? Where are you here? Can you type at least one accomplishment that you have in a day? Not today, for the year, one accomplishment. It may not be grand, because we're going to look at it at the concept of well-being, because this accomplishment helps us become the best version of us. Am I making sense? Can you please type here, or nagsusulat pa kayo? Are you reflecting on your own accomplishment? O di ba, get promoted, earn MA units, I become an RPM. Wow! Noel, drink 8 glasses of water a day. Mamil declutter, traveled locally, started running, able to walk at least 10 steps next year, goal ko yan. Finish a rather long non-fiction book after a long reading slump. This is good. Consistent movement, published article, nursing my baby. Oh, Jonah, this is wonderful. That is really a big accomplishment. Went back to doing yoga, Junix. Let's namaste to that. Earned your PhD. Okay. Diba? These are good accomplishments. So my question is, how do you celebrate it? As I mentioned earlier, in the PERMA model of a flourishing life, based on Martin Seligman, accomplishment is here. What gives you a sense of accomplishment? It's the A in PERMA. It's not what gives you a sense of achievement. So let me ask you, what gives you a sense of accomplishment? It was said that accomplishment is perseverance, adding passion to attain. Accomplishment can only be amplified if there is perseverance and a passion to attain goal. Kung hindi tayo magiging passionate about what we're doing, for example, minsan talaga, Junix, di ba, it's just so hard to move. It's so hard to, even sometimes I'm already in the yoga mat. I'm already in my yoga outfit. But sometimes mas masarap matulog. But accomplishment there, it's perseverance and passion to attain goal. My goal there is that to be healthy, not even to be fit, but to be healthy. So that, even though it's hard, you're trying to persevere because you are fueled by that passion that I want to be healthy. So another area is that flourishing and well-being, it's actually, it happens if we have accomplishment. And that includes the concept of striving towards things with internal motivation. Internal motivation meaning we don't need to explain to everyone that we're doing this kind of movement just to be able to be, because I want to take 10,000 steps. No, it's because we want to be healthy and we want to be well. And Martin Seligman said, well-being cannot exist just in our own head. Well-being is a combination of feeling good as well as actually having meaning, good relationship, and accomplishment. Well-being we have to look for people who says na, I'm really well, maybe, pero nakaupo lang sila and life is unfulfilled. Are you getting me? May mga taong gano'n, fulfilled na sila na humiga lang maghapon. But well-being is not that. It's just not feeling good. It's actually having a life of meaning, having good relationships, and accomplishment. And accomplishment, the measure of positive psychology, teaching taxonomy of success, is the degree to which children or students they know how to establish goals, direct their efforts towards goals, and accomplish goals or edit them with equanimity. What is equanimity? Sige, what is equanimity? Do you know the word equanimity? The measure. I like equanimity. In yoga, it's used, that word is used, it's, Mentos, strong on the outside, but inside is soft and chewy. That's equanimity. You have this that strong front, but inside you can allow yourself to be vulnerable, accomplish goals or edit them. So here in teaching accomplishment, we're not talking about numbers. We're not talking about we're not talking about we're not talking about um we're not we're not talking about being honors. We're not talking about the the outcome alone. We're talking about the goals and setting it realistically so that yes, equanimity is being positive despite negative situation. Yes. So how do we actually set realistic goals and accomplishment? One of the biggest thing, can you just tell me, if you can chat it here, what's that big goal that you have for yourself? What is that accomplishment that you're trying to strive for? Maybe it's your master's degree. Maybe you're going to take your comprehensive exam. Maybe magde-defend ka na ng proposal mo. Tell me. Or maybe you're up for promotion. Yan. Finish your doctoral. Yes. You have to connect your goal to your big why. I tell students this. You have to have a big why. I remember during the time that I was taking my PhD, is that I was very clear on the why. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be mayabang, but I was very clear on the why and always tell myself is if the why is strong, the how is easy, even though it's long. I took my PhD, I think, for 6 years. That's relatively short because I'm not full time. I'm raising two kids and I'm doing work. So here you can say, why is your big why? Why you want to finish that? I'm clear on my big why. So that goal is easy to actually work on it kung malinaw yung why. That's why I always tell students, if your why for taking this course or taking your graduate school or taking psychology is not clear, then it's not gonna fuel you when adversity happens. When difficulties happen, you're just gonna easily give up. I noticed that. Yung mga malinaw sa kanila kung bakit nila ginagawa, sila yung natatapos. Pero kahit malinaw sa'yo, you have to have that why. Is it because you just want to get the promotion? Maybe yes, that's external. But for me, before I know that my PhD, it's something to fulfill a personal mission. And now I found why. Being given the positions that I hold in my community, that's for me the big why. It's connected to that. So another thing, in setting realistic goals, take one step at a time towards what you want to accomplish. There's a quote that I always share, and then I wrote this in my book, The Beauty of 40, Unwrapping the Gift of Midlife. It says there, we can have it all, not all at the same time. I realized this while doing my PhD also, na minsan sa buhay, hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay. Hindi pwedeng mapopromote ka agad-agad, tapos mag-aasawa ka ng sasabayan mo. Magpo-promote ka, bumili ka ng kotse, mag-aasama mag-asawa ka, hindi yan nangyayari sa isang season. Kung mangyari yan tapos matatapos mo yung PhD mo, hindi yan nangyayari sa isang season. Let's be realistic. Because meron bibigay. Sometimes it's your health. Sometimes something's gonna give. So you have to take one step at a time towards what you want to accomplish. Paisa-isa lang. Hindi mauubos ang stress, hindi mauubos ang mga bagay, yung goal, mga gusto nating ma-attain, hindi mauubos pero tayo mauubos. Am I making sense? Take one step at a time and focus your energies there. Because if you want everything all at the same time, may bumibigay. Am I making sense? So, if your why is clear, and this is something that I've been that's helping me operate. Connect your goal to your big why. If your why is clear, then you can actually learn to take one thing at a time because it's easy for you to say no to things that are not connected to your why. Ang daling hindian ang mga bagay na hindi para sa inyo. And I think it's also relevant for us to help students there. Nurture them, cultivate with them to finding their why, and help them to see the steps one at a time. Yung sinabing make it nugget, bite size goals. Yes, that's one step at a time. Hindi kaya yan. Kaya parang pag magbibigay din tayo na requirements, huwag sabay-sabay. Kasi we're just doing it for the sake of, but it lacks meaning and purpose. And assess, then adjust the goal and resources. I think many people fail at accomplishing things because they don't assess and adjust the goal and the resources. Ang taas ng goal, the goal is too high, but the resources, hey, I think parang you're sick in everything. You're getting sick in everything. And then the resources, that so paano? How will you get to that goal? It's not bad to have goals, but you have to be realistic. If your goal is too high and resources is too scarce or low, adjust the goal. But if you have enough resources and then the goal is this little and then adjust the goal, pwede pa rin. Pwede pa rin. And I think this is real. I read this somewhere. The two has to align. You have to be realistic. Can you say that with me? Realistic. So if your plan, I heard many students say this for graduate school, and I want you also to be realistic with it with your own students. Ang goal ko nga po matapos next year. Matapos next year yung thesis, 1 year, kaya? Kaya? You have to consider that there are so many factors beyond your control. Kaya papasok siya, have buffer time or consider external factors. Can I just share something? When I was finishing my PhD, because the goal is to actually finish. I want to finish Christmas, this kind of season, I think that was 2016. 2016, all the data are with me already. I've started analyzing. It's just that I need to finish writing. But it did not happen. Oh, I think I'm doing analysis. It did not happen. I was, how teachers' lives na pagdating na after ng Christmas party, medyo bakasyon na tayo. So in higher education, mas maaga yon kasi maagang nagkasabit ng grades before because our semesters end about second week of December. And then I said, I want to finish and somehow, kung kaya ko mag-graduate by 2017, so that kung kaya ko ba yun na tapusin yung data and the analysis of, it's a qualitative study that I did. But December, first week, my husband has severe sickness. And then, the busyness of Christmas season. And then there's teaching load. And then towards Christmas days, papuntang Christmas, my two kids got sick also. 2 days before Christmas, I got sick. Sabi ko, wow. Yung bakasyon na nililook forward ko at sinabi ko sa sarili ko na tatapusin ko na yung dissertation, it's so scarce. It did not happen. So is it realistic for me to say next year I'll finish? No, it's not. I almost gave up. I almost told myself na ayoko na. Sinabi ko na ngayon eh. Sinabi ko na ayoko na. So you have to have buffer time or consider external factors. Are you with me? Give me an example of external factor na nakikita nyo na ito yung nakaka-distract sa inyo. External factor, sama nyo na dyan yung Netflix o kaya yung K-drama na naiistorbo kayo na dapat nagbabasa ako ng RRL pero ay, maganda tong one last episode na to. Yan. So can you write it there? You have to consider that. I realistically encourage students that you have to have buffer time. Yes, you may have deadline, but some things are not in your control. O yan, jowa daw po. Talagang jowa. Pwede naman. Dapat inspiration yon. Kung nakakaharang si jowa sa pag-aaral at profession, you have to assess, is this assess and adjust the goal and the resource. Pero, kung yan yung jowa nyo na supportive, yung husband ko, we met during the time that I was starting masters. Until the time na mag-PhD ako, is really supportive of that. Advisor behavior on this is, oh my God, yeah, this is external factor. Finances, financial constraint, playing online games. Thank you for being honest. Pinag-isipan ko pong mag-take ng end of units para makapag-LPT. At bakit mo naman pinag-iisipan? So tandaan mo why. The why is strong. Okay. And make past failures your catalyst for motivation. You always don't get stuck on past failures. Make past failures are your stepping stone rather than your stumbling block. They may have put you in a disadvantaged position at a certain point, but convert that stumbling block to a stepping stone because these are actually ingredients. Okay. So how do we, the problem with us, the problem with many of us, we don't celebrate accomplishment. Friends, I want to ask you, do you celebrate your accomplishments, big and small? Do you know how to celebrate accomplishment? Because if we do not know personally how to celebrate accomplishment, we're going to have a hard time nurturing our students' accomplishment. Na bawat effort nila, ang sasabihin na lang natin, well, you're expected to do that anyway. We're gonna have that stance with them. Do you celebrate accomplishment? Can you just give me one example? How do you celebrate your accomplishment? Can you put there in the chat? How do you celebrate accomplishment? Vacation. Yes, long overdue 12 hours sleep, travel. Ice cream, eating comfort food. Okay. Nabili po ako ng ice cream. Tama. Nagkakape sa Tagaytay kasama si Mia. Okay. 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 I like this term. Malayo na kahit malayo pa. Pwede ba natin ulitin ng sabay-sabay with feelings? Malayo na kahit malayo pa. That is exactly the main message that I give you. We celebrate accomplishment. Pag tiningnan mo, ang layo ng nararating ko. Malayo pa yung goal ko, pero malayo na ako. We are a different person yesterday than we are today. What we have right now in 2024, December 28, is different from what we have on December 28, 2023. Lack of accomplishments, celebrating accomplishment can lead to burnout and likely feeling of discouragement and not being able to enjoy the rewards of achieving a goal. Look at this, burning out from moving too quickly without necessary rest and recovery. Yun yung nangyayari. If we don't celebrate our accomplishment, tayo rin naman yung nagbo-burnout. Why? At accomplishment, celebrating that gives us that in-between. Diba? We're jumping from one task to another. Big deal, big goal, big goal. And then things happen. Malayo na pero pagod na. Yes, kasi hindi tayo natututong mag-rest. Lacking fulfillment and positive feelings associated with reaching your goal. Parang kahit na maatin mo yung goal na yan because you don't celebrate it and you don't acknowledge na ayan na yan. And then, it's actually, you're not gonna have the fulfillment that you need. And feeling a false sense that you're not ever getting things done. And yeah, these are actually the tenets of burnout and not being able to enjoy the rewards of achieving a goal. You've achieved something. Some of you are saying that you eat sometimes whenever I would, during the pre-pandemic, whenever I would give talks, especially I usually give talks then to schools. And whenever I would be out, like on a Saturday morning, like or a day like this, I would be out. Maybe sometimes I would go to Cavite, sometimes to Laguna, um, out of town or just in the city. What I like to do is that I give myself that macadamia chocolate macadamia cookie in Starbucks and a cup of coffee. Doesn't It's not even a frap. Sometimes it's a brewed coffee or a latte. That's my treat for myself. That's my treat for driving far. That's my treat for myself for accomplishing something. Especially lalo na kung alam ko na difficult yung audience, the topic is quite tricky. Yan. But that's actually how I savor it. Savoring accomplishment is very critical for us to be able to learn how to celebrate it. The power of savoring allows us to act of to enjoy and mindfully experience something. Do you know that savoring is a factor and it's what do you call this? Savoring is actually one aspect of positive psychology. And how do you use savoring? Savoring accomplishment can help us boost motivation. Ninanamnam mo. To savor is to experience, to have experience of the taste, to relish, to cherish, sa akin another word, to cherish, and to enjoy. When we savor accomplishments, it helps us boost motivation, increase our confidence, and it becomes a positive reinforcement. And then there is that feeling of celebration and enjoyment. You know, we are blessed if meron tayong family members who actually knows how to celebrate our accomplishment and to savor the accomplishment. So here are the ways to savor our accomplishment. One, pause and reflect on your accomplishment. You know, one of the best things that I saw is that what did it teach you about yourself? If you've accomplished something, you've accomplished, you've just taken the board. What is that you teach about yourself? So, for example, your students accomplish a difficult project. Maybe, like in the instructional design that Dr. Maita was sharing with us, we can actually check with them. What did it teach you about yourself? Your strength, your limits, your habits. Diyan nila makikita, kaya pala hindi ko natapos kasi I'm procrastinating. And then what did it teach you about life? And then a big thing that I want to ask you, how all this connect to your goal and life mission? Paano mo yan? I like what you're saying, Lavi. When I reach my 30s, I learned to celebrate small wins. Compared in my 20s, sa dapat major account. Yes. Because if we keep, sometimes we fail to notice and appreciate the small accomplishment that adds up to a big accomplishment because ayaw natin yung wag ka munang masaya kasi baka umiyak pa tayo, baka mahirapan lang tayo. Diba? Another is that share success with others. Share it with supportive people, differentiate between sharing and bragging, and help by inspiring others who are on the same path. So for me, I've shared to the people that I love when I finish my doctoral dissertation. My classmates and some of my students, because I taught graduate school right away. I really tried my best to help them and inspire them on how can they finish it. How can they finish it? And then the third one, so one is pause and reflect. The second, share your success. And the third, I want to be hot on this. Reward yourself. Rewards are ways to tell yourself through words or actions that what you did matters and deserves something good. If nobody's noticing you, please notice yourself. Actually, accomplishment natin to stay until 5 p.m. today. Kasi diba, long weekend, holidays. Tapos makikinig kami, inaantok na kami, Dok eh. So here, you have to reward yourself. It can be a simple reward to a big plan. Siyempre kailangan niyong i-proportion. Huwag kayong bibili ng diamond ring for just a paper that you've submitted. No. So reward yourself. Learn to reward yourself because you work hard for it. And the fourth area is that rest and recover, especially if it entail mental and physical and all of your mental and physical faculty. Then you have to learn to rest and recover. Accomplishing a goal takes a toll on our well-being. Totoo to. Totoo to. A break and a time to rest is recover is critical. I personally have this what I call milestone marker. That's my reward system. Ano po yung milestone marker? Na in any milestone that I will have, meron ako dapat reward dyan. It's a personal thing. I'll give you one classic example. When I took my comprehensive exam, nung nag-PhD ako, for 1 month, I dropped all the commitments that I have. My daily reward for myself mag mag I would go with my husband to his office in Makati. I would study when everyone in the business district are quiet already. I will be in one corner of Starbucks. Doon ako mag-aaral. At 2:30 p.m., two buildings away was the yoga studio that I go to. I would take yoga class there. So, mga 2 p.m., 1 p.m., I just have quick lunch. Minsan sa kotse, minsan may baon. That's my reward. I will take yoga class. For me, that's my recharging time. That's the reward system. What is my milestone marker? The second day of when I ended the comprehensive exam, that weekend, I booked ahead uh, a one-bedroom suite in a hotel. For me, kasi I need rest. I need to recover. And my goal for the weekend is just do nothing. Really just to recharge myself. Because that's also celebrating that I have finished. Kung ano man yung resulta nung comprehensive exam, I am rewarding myself. Because I'm tired. It can be tiring, especially my milestone marker. I know I'm going to finish the dessert and graduate on May 2018. I know I'm going to graduate from PhD. I know. I really drove for it. What's my milestone marker? We book for a trip on April 2018 because the graduation is end of May end of May. So for 3 weeks, yes, we were on a trip while I'm graduating. But for me, that's my milestone marker. I've set it already while accomplishing the goal because that accomplishment, it is crucial to my well-being. So you see what I mean? And then now, because of all this, I've learned to have, now I try, but it's not perfect yet, to have quarterly breather. Na pag meron mga, every quarter, January, February, March, okay, where will I breathe here? Where will I reward myself here? Where will I go? Or what is that special out of the thing to do for this quarterly breather? So, meron kang chunks of quarter. Huwag niyong intayin at i-kolekta lahat ng holiday nyo. Because, collecting your holiday and clumping up 2 months na bakasyon, do you know that it's counterfeit to well-being? Because you need to be well and to celebrate yourself sometime during the first or the second quarter, not collect it during the third. But is that not delaying gratification? Well, it depends. It depends, but sometimes you just need a small breather to celebrate yourself. And celebrate your accomplishment are actually acts of self-affirmation, self-care, and self-compassion. These are aspects of well-being. These are key ingredients to a flourishing life. When you celebrate, and then if your students, if you are not doing it for yourself, I tell you, it's going to be hard for students to affirm themselves, to learn self-affirmation. If you're not personally teaching self-care, promise ang sungit mo sa klase. Because how can you take care of the people around you and sense their wellness if you are not well yourself? And if you are lacking in self-compassion, oh my God, I don't know how your classroom will be. You cannot save the world. We cannot save the world. As Mother Teresa said, it can create. We cannot save the world, but we can start and create many ripples. You start loving and being compassionate with yourself and then compassionate to one person. You can have self-care without self-compassion, but self-compassion is lived through authentic self-care. I'll wrap up my session by putting this out here. It's hard to live in a culture where we are looking for achievements. And this is an invitation for you to reflect. How does your practices in relating with students, even the things that you mouth in dealing with students, how do you practice celebrating the person, not the pupil? You look at them with all the faculties, with all the giftedness that they have. But I want you to actually reflect on how are you actually doing it to yourself. Do you believe that you are enough? Do you believe that you have a special timeline? I want you to know, because I remind myself that your timeline is very different from your colleague's timeline. There's somebody who, a graduate school student who consulted me, Doc, pero pag tinititigan ko po, naiwanan na ako ng mga classmates ko. RPM na sila, RSI na sila, ako, eto pa lang. I felt that. I felt that. But my timeline is different. My timeline is different. But if you believe that you have a bigger purpose, if you believe in your why, if you believe in your own capacity, that you are enough, and if you believe that the jigsaw puzzle of your life is different, and then you have a bigger purpose, it's easier to spot your accomplishments. So please, teachers, friends, colleagues, if you believe in this tree, then I know that you can live it out with your students. Let me just end with this. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Let's put that in place. To allow your student to be themselves in a world that is constantly trying to make them something else is a great accomplishment for our teachers. So let me just say this. You can care for you and celebrating you as you have a bigger mission and purpose. Celebrate yourself because you have a lot of mission to give, a lot of mission to do, and a bigger purpose to fill. Magandang araw and God bless everyone. Thank you.